Good morning and welcome to another Money Morning Routine. Okay, we need to talk. So I posted on my Instagram just this morning all about my hair appointment. Let's talk about it. I want to show this and what this looks like on my Budget by Paycheck Workbook and the whole thing. So I did get updated with my checking account spending. I had that joint account investment contribution for $700 come out. Also a new expense I don't show very often. We don't do it very often, which is why it sits in my miscellaneous category. So my husband went and played in a tournament down in Arizona, and they ended up winning and becoming the champions down there. And so we ended up buying some t-shirts for that. He got a t-shirt, I got a t-shirt. Well, he got like a sweatshirt type of thing, and I got a t-shirt. So that was $86. I just let my checking account cushion eat that because that was not in my budget. I did not know we were going to be ordering those, but we did. So that eating that checking account cushion up, $86. But I really want to focus today on my cash envelopes. Okay, so I went and got my hair done. Cost me $320. That's with tip. Now, that is very, very expensive. However, we had to do a full all over custom color. 7 months ago, when's the last time I got my hair done? I go about once a year, so I don't go very often. I go about once every 6 to 7 months. The last place I went to, I'm not going to name them. I did not like what they did. And because I don't like confrontation, I didn't say anything, and I walked out with hair that I did not like with no discount. Anyways, so I finally found someone that I absolutely love what they did, but it was not planned for in my budget. Now, if we go to my February budget and you look, you can see on my budget, there is no place for hair down in my variable spending, okay? Nothing. So you might be asking how I paid for it. It's doing something I never recommend. Now, I don't ever recommend that you get in the habit of stealing from other envelopes, right? So if you're out there and you're spending your fun cash and you use all the cash that's in your envelope, you're done with spending. No more spending in the fun category. We do this with the cash envelopes to help hone in our spending when it gets a little out of control, right? If we're having a problem, maybe in one of our spending categories where we tend to overspend, this is supposed to help us physically see when our spending is supposed to be done, right? Our limits, our budget limits. When you start stealing from other envelopes, here's two things that happen. One, you take away the possibility and the ability to be able to spend, like maybe if I stole from my household envelope so I can pay for more fun purchases, I am taking away the ability to be able to use my household cash for what it was intended for, right? We set our budgets for a reason. We have a budget plan to ensure that we're spending our money in the best way possible for us to lead us to success. But if you're stealing money and taking away the opportunity to spend on this category for what it was intended for, then your budget really doesn't matter, right? What's the point? So I don't recommend, now of course, life happens, right? I sometimes do steal from my other envelopes. I don't make it a habit. I don't make it consistent, but life happens. It's going to happen. So you want to steal from an envelope that you know has the least amount of chance of you needing that money. Now, you also have to look the remainder of your tracking period, right? So I have to go the rest of February without this cash. Can I do it? Is that a reality? Is that a possibility? You have to ask yourself those questions. So here's what I did. Okay, so it was $320. Okay, I took the rest of my beauty envelope. So I had $20 left in my beauty envelope. It's gone. I took all of my pet envelopes. That $50 is gone. I took all of my household envelope. That $100 is gone. I took all of my fun envelope. That $100 is gone. And I took all of my miscellaneous envelope. That $50 is gone. And you might be saying, Nico, you took all the cash from every single one of your other cash envelopes. Yes, I did. This is why I don't recommend that you do that. However, I'm going to admit it. I was not a patient spender. I was sick and tired of my hair. I hated the color because I went 7 months. My ends desperately needed a trim. And I'm pretty good about delayed gratification. I think I've really done really well with being a patient spender, but I could not take it anymore. So here's what's going to happen. I have 10 days where I cannot spend from these categories. Is it possible? Absolutely. The great thing about the cash that I have in these cash envelopes, it's not for any type of necessary spending. Most of the spending that comes from these cash envelopes are wants, they're not needs. Right? So because of that, it's not like I know for sure I have to spend from these. It's more of decision-making and trade-offs in my life. I made a trade-off to spend on my hair, knowing that I cannot spend from these for the 10 remaining days that I have in my tracking period or the rest of February. So, okay, that means let's write it down. Okay, I already wrote it down on my envelopes, and I did that for the pure fact that my receipt was emailed to me. I didn't have a physical receipt to remind me, so I wrote it down on my envelopes as a reminder. So let's write it down on my cash expense tracker. So yesterday was $217. Hair, this falls in my health and beauty. Now, you might be saying, Nico, you didn't take it from your health and beauty. Does that matter? No. Even if I stole it from pets, right? Even though it's from my pets category, on your expense tracker, you want to write down what true category it falls under, because remember, we're all about looking at our spending. This is accurate. This is not. I'm not spending $320 on pets. No, I'm spending $320 on my health and beauty. So that's how you're going to write that down. Now, another thing, I do have some food spending that happened. I went to Fred Meyer. My little boy, Dante, he is obsessed with rolls. I don't even understand. I probably couldn't bake as many rolls as his kid is eating. But so I went, Christopher asked, hey, can you stop by the store and get Dante some rolls? Awesome. Okay, so I went and did that. I ended up spending $4.99, so around $5. So I'm going to write that down. $217, Fred Meyer. This is a food purchase for $5. Okay, so that's done. Let's write it down on my envelope so I have an updated amount left to spend on my envelope. So Fred Meyer minus 5. Okay, that leaves me with $169. All right, so let's check if there's any $5 bills. I don't think I saw any. No, there is not. Okay, perfect. So envelope is done there. Envelope is updated. I'm going to scan my receipt in the Fetch Rewards, and my cash expense tracker has been updated. So that's really all I wanted to do today, was get updated with my spending, especially with that hair purchase. Okay, one of the things, I've been eating into my checking account cushion a lot this month. You know, I had the $86 that came out for those baseball shirts. There was one other thing. I can't remember what it was. I'm looking through this. Oh, Valentine's Day. Also $186. So between the $186 for Valentine's Day and the baseball shirts, that's a big chunk of money for my checking account cushion. Now you can see I have $1,898 left in my checking account. So let's just go over here to my budget. Now, if that makes you a little uncomfortable with your checking account cushion, man, I don't know how much I have. You know, am I going to have enough to pay bills? Okay, here's another thing. Let's write down, fill this in. So that joint came out. Okay, so I have, if I were to add up all these blank spots, these are what I still have left to come out. I can see right now I'm going to be totally fine. I'm still going to probably have around $800 to $900 in my checking account cushion. So because I'm still waiting for these bills to come out, like my Vista, my home security, Netflix, life insurance, and my YouTube TV. But even with all of those, I can quickly see that I'm totally fine with my checking account balance right now. So that is my morning routine.